We've got 2 more issues of Ultimate Incursion to look forward to. We'll touch on the next issue in our next month's
You're looking
episode.
forward to it.
I was
Oh,
like,
my fault.
we?
Speaking-
Who is
I'm-
this we you
Yeah, who's
speak of?
we,
More than
bro?
one?
The fuck?
Plural?
Friends, a year ago, a diabolical mastermind known as the Maker, an alternate universe version of Reed Richards, invaded a brand new universe and systematically prevented heroes from becoming superheroes. In 1 year, he will return. The Ultimates are assembling. Here we are. Welcome, friends, to Ultimate Countdown.
Moving on, we have Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, which is 3 issues in, which features Miles Morales from Earth 616 being sucked into the new
Pause.
Ultimate Universe. Yes.
No, my fault. Keep going, bro. I've been paused
All
and
right.
like sucked in. My
Yeah.
fault. Go ahead, bro.
Being pulled off into the Marvel Ultimate Universe, the new Ultimate Universe, after his sister Billy activates the card that the Maker left Miles. We're 3 issues in. I have like mixed feelings about this book. I don't think it's terrible, but it's not what I want it to be.
No, keep going. No, keep going. You got it, bro. Keep going. You got it. No,
with each issue, we're kind of doing like Miles's trip through the different series that we're doing. So the first one, he was hanging out with Ultimate Spider-Man and Richard Parker. The second one, he was dicking around in Wakanda. The third one, he's in Hinokuni. I'm gonna guess for the fourth, I'm sorry. The second one, he was with the Ultimates.
Yes, Hank Pym. Well, no, he still went to Wakanda.
And then they
but
went
he
to
was with Hank
Wakanda.
Pym.
And then they went
Yeah.
to Wakanda. And
They
then
shared
the third
that
one,
book.
Yes, they shared that book, which was a choice. And
Yeah.
the fourth, I don't know what's going to happen in the fourth.
I hope it's not Wolverine.
He's going to
Probably
show up
might be.
eventually.
That'll be the most boring comic of the year.
Fine. I would rather that than have the book end on a downer note.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I'd be okay with that ending on a downer, honestly.
I mean, I know that he's going to face off, or there's going to be, like, in the background, the cabal of villains, the Maker's Council, are all trying to get Billy.
Yeah.
They think that somehow she's somehow going to be some sort of key to their own success. So that is also happening. I've kind of provided a little bit of scatterbrained thoughts on this. Somebody pick it up for me.
Yo,
just go ahead. You don't like the book. We get
a book.
it.
No. So the introduction was good, but it's also the Ultimate Universe Miles that then got put in 616. That's now back in my neighbor has a Civic, and now is back in the newer Ultimate Universe. And okay, the first one with the Spider-Man one, I liked that. I liked that interaction with him and Richard. This and that. I thought that was really neat because it's like Richard interacting with another teenager that's possibly Spider-Man.
Yeah. Looking up to him instead of his dad. Yeah.
The second issue, I didn't care for the fact that it was kind of like, I know it wasn't the Ultimates. It's Hank Pym and Wasp. And then they go to Wakanda. It set up stuff that should have been in the regular run, like you mentioned.
This was weird.
Yeah,
hearing that Hank Pym, his first memory was his wife talking to him.
Yeah.
Because he had not remembered anything because he was in a coma before that. So strange that we're getting it in Ultimate Incursion. However, I both dislike this and I kind of like it a little bit now that I'm thinking about it. Because you realize if you didn't read Ultimates and read this book, you wouldn't have picked up on that Wasp is doing some shady bullshit in the background. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it.
I liked it, but at the same time, it's like, where was this in issue 3 of the Ultimates when they got their powers? They're trying to like, oh, we shouldn't do it, this and that. It's like, it's one of the things where like not all of us, we are, because we're doing this video and stuff like that, but how many people actually care? Because let's face it, there's a majority, not a majority, but there is a good amount of people who read Marvel Comics who just refuse to read anything with Miles in it. So there are people who are reading Ultimates. Not everyone is pulling everything in the Ultimate. Some people might be just reading Ultimate Spider-Man and maybe dabbling in the Ultimates. There's people who are going to miss out on this book who aren't going to get this really well flashback story of the dynamic between those two and Hank Pym and his background that aren't going to know about this.
All right.
At the same time, the only other good thing it did was it kind of laid the groundwork of how T'Challa and Wakanda, they see the Ultimates because they even call them terrorists and all sorts of stuff. And so it's set up kind of like that almost, okay, I wonder, because the Ultimates aren't interacting with everybody, but it's like, I wonder how Black Panther and everyone in Wakanda views the Ultimates because they don't interact. So we know, hey, they think they're bad. But I will say, the thing that's kind of turning me off is I don't really like the artwork in these books.
I don't like it either. I'm so glad that you brought this up.
Billy looks like an adult. She has adult face. Why does she have adult face?
Hold on. Before we do the artwork, I would love to delve into that. I just want to give my quick thoughts. The premise is very cool. Very cool. I like that there's a lot of history with, Miles and the Maker. And, hell, even the idea of just like Billy getting the car to get it transported and Miles, that's cool.
Yeah.
One of you guys mentioned it about if people were not reading the Ultimate Universe. This is the biggest sticking point for me regarding this book. This feels like it was exclusively meant for people who are not reading the Ultimate Universe. Exclusively. I feel like the writing is very kind of hollow. You don't really know where in these books this shit is taking place. I know we had a little bit of a disagreement on, what the character voices and stuff sound like. And, I'll be fair. Sure, is it fair to expect Camp and Ziegler, who's also writing this, to have the voices that Hickman, Hill, Momoko, and whoever else established? No, but also at the same time, I guess I can kind of give it some kind of grace if this is written for the people who aren't really tapped in the Ultimate Universe like we are, because those little things, they stick out to me like a sore thumb. This book only works for me if I take off the lens of I'm reading everything else.
Doesn't line up, because each one of these is a month, because they even mentioned Hank and I'm like, oh, it's been a couple weeks, we're at Wakanda now.
Yeah.
Or it's been a couple weeks, now you're in Japan. But the downside is the timeline of when these are released. T'Challa's not even in Wakanda right now at the time of that book. So it's kind of like,
Black Panther take place month to month?
Yeah.
I thought that one was the only one that doesn't.
Well, I think
he's been in Wakanda for a bit, so
yeah.
But even from the standpoint of when the comics released, if Black Panther 18 came out at the same time as Incursion #2, Black Panther,
he's not Wakanda.
T'Challa's not even in Wakanda. So it's one of those things where it's like if you're reading everything as they're releasing month to month, you're like, Hank Pym and them are with the Ultimates over here, but they're supposed to be in Wakanda with Miles, but they're not bringing up that they're in Wakanda with Miles.
Yeah.
Miles isn't even mentioned in the Ultimates, but Wasp is doing shady stuff in this, so it's like they don't line up.
Even Ultimate Spider-Man, because I think
the first issue they weren't even in the city.
Yeah, because they were
on the road trip.
Booted out, but just they were on the and now you're running
I brought that
around.
up when we talked about it too.
Yeah, you're running around New York when you know you got Kingpin and his motherfuckers looking for you. Are you crazy?
Yeah, because they were nowhere near New York when issue 1 dropped of that. They were just finishing up their family RV trip, and with the crazy guy that's like, oh yeah, and the Sandman issue. They don't line up. If you're gonna have a shared universe, there's got to be some sort of at least mention, be like, oh, like, yeah, we found this Miles. We're gonna bring him over here. We're gonna see what's going on. Like, there has to be some little nod in the mainline comics to this 5-issue run, because it seems so isolated that it doesn't even really tie into the other runs that are going on, other than the characters themselves.
I wouldn't even say that. If anything, the least you can do is put an editor's note. I think that's what that put an editor's note. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, this takes place between issues blah 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 of blah blah blah.
Remember the little
So-
yellow tear they used to put on the bottom of the pages? Be like, see
Yeah.
issue this. Be like, this takes place between Ultimates 13 and 14, or this takes place between Ultimate Spider-Man 17 and 18. Like, you could, because I could see it taking place in the between the more recent Ultimate Spider-Mans now that they're back in the city.
I will say this, like, even though I don't like this particular book, the only thing I'm gonna give it credit for, I think Miles is written consistently. That's
Yeah.
literally
Oh,
the
yeah.
highlight of the book. Like,
It's
this makes me want to check out the Miles run. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. You know what? Ziegler has a very good voice for Miles.
true.
That's great. You know what? Maybe I was wrong for like sleeping on this. But other than that, like, nah, this really isn't working for me, and that's why I've always been on the side of, yo, would it have been that difficult if you're gonna do a Black Panther issue? Could Brian Hill could have like written that with you? Could Peach Momoko have written that with you? Could Hickman? And Hickman could have done it because Hickman is doing
Oh, yeah.
he's doing
I think
Imperial,
they're-
bro.
everything.
Building more towards the end game.
When I see this, is it wrong for me to feel a little skeptical on you being potentially the main voice of the universe when this is your first shot and you can't even juggle that correctly? Am I wrong for feeling that way?
No,
No.
I get it. I think me and Ro need to have a conversation as the people who are all gas no brakes with Ultimate X-Men issue 3 with the artwork they did for Maystorm them. That listen, I don't. You can have Peach. Like, can you imagine if Peach Momoko did the artwork for this issue? So we got Miles in the X-Men because he's going to these different areas. It would have made sense to have it be that art style because these character designs look like that. I never want, like, if Peach stops writing Ultimate X-Men, just end the run, please.
Bro, would it have been so hard to get Chichetto, Momoko, Caselli? What? See, I'm gonna sound like I'm hating. I'm gonna sound like I'm hating.
Nah,
I'm
I
gonna
lo-
sound like
jump
I'm
scare.
hating.
Look, Jonas
I'm a
Sharf.
s-
We know Jonas Sharf from Power Rangers,
Oh,
and
no, Sharp is good, but it's just
I don't think that he was the right pick for this.
He wasn't.
I don't think anyone would have been other than Peach, honestly. After what 16, 17, 18 issues of Ultimate X-Men, to have them not be
No, but
that
you
art
have
style.
to have those. You have to have those characters eventually not in that art style because those characters are
Yes,
showing up
but
in
not
Endgame.
but not wasted on Miles. I mean, they did say he looked like a common writer. I give them credit as someone who makes Toku content. That I got a little chuckle. I took a screenshot of it. Like, I'm gonna go get my my social media retweets and likes on it. I'm gonna go engagement bait that for a bit. But it's just it caught me off guard. It was like a jump scare because I was just like, oh, he's going to Japan. This is gonna be good. And then I saw the designs and I was like, listen, Sharf, I like the artwork in general, just not these characters, because I feel like it would have been cooler because Miles was going into each one. If you got the artist for each one of the runs that he's
Yeah.
going into to do the artwork, Black Panther, Ultimate, so have Peach do the one for this. Whoever's doing, was it Capuccio doing Wolverine, have those artists do those issues.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been cool because Miles going into these ones, they shouldn't be adjusted and going to the artwork from Miles. And it would have been cooler. It would have been, people would have collected these issues if it was done like that.
I think, if I'm being 100% honest, I think maybe they jumped the gun with Ultimate Incursion. There's a scenario where Miles could have been involved. Yes. But when you look at the art, when you look at like the continuity and the story, I think this is one they probably should have kept in the tuck a little bit more. I think you already had a good thing going with like the individual books and even the Ultimates, despite our issues. But I think this one right here, just like, hold on, y'all. Did we really need this now, especially this way? That's my thing.
I like the concept. The story of
Yeah.
it is good. I just think the execution could have been better, but the story itself, like, yeah, I'm ragging on it because it's like it's not as it's not great, but it's not like
Yeah.
Ultimate Wolverine bad. It's not
Yeah.
bad. It's just my main issue is the third issue with just that art style used. Because like when I heard he was going to be, when we all were theorizing of how it was going to work and this and that, but after reading the first issue, then you see the second one, he's going to, Wakanda. All I thought it was the 80s movie Mom and Dad Save the World, where they're jumping through TV shows and it changes.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, he's going to go to Wakanda. We're going to get that art style from that artist. Oh, can't wait till he shows up in Ultimate X-Men. Can you imagine this whole Miles thing? But it's all the manga style and this and that. It's still needed because Miles is very important to all of this.
Yes.
So I think with the whole Ultimate show, like Endgame and stuff like that, you need Miles for this. So
yes.
It's not even pushing it away or not having it all. It's like it's just there's only 2 more issues left.
Yeah.
Because it's 5 issues, and not a lot has happened.
I think this is a missed opportunity for like the person who's not reading the Ultimate stuff, or who maybe doesn't have they may listen. Not everybody is us who can be tapped in with all the different books on a month to month. We have to acknowledge that. I think this is a missed opportunity for that person to jump into this and be like, oh shoot, this is the style of Ultimate Spider-Man. Okay, next issue. This is the style of Black Panther.
Like a
This is
sample.
This was a missed opportunity because I think if that random person was to jump into that, I think if they read that, hold on, let me see if I can scrounge up a couple dollars to go check out what's going on in Ultimate Spider-Man or Ultimate X-Men. That way, that's how you make a comic book fan. My homie Prime said this best. A random comic could be somebody's first comic.
Yeah, that's Stanley's philosophy.
Yes.
Yeah. Every comic is somebody's first comic.
That's the one. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was reading some older comics that I had, and I thought, what if they just released Incursion instead of 5 issues? What if they did it like a trade, but they handled it how DC did the anniversaries for like the 80th of the Flash, this and that, where they had the trade and it was different people writing different stories and it was different artists for each one, and they were like, oh, but it's all one timeline. So it's like here's Camp and them writing Miles interacting with the Ultimates, then leading into Hickman with Spider-Man or Spider-Man first. And then so each writer of those books is writing the Miles section of Miles and being it with their artists respectively. And it's like almost like a like the free comic you'd get like once every couple months where it'd give you all the previews of what's coming out. This would be Miles introducing everyone. So people could be like, oh, Miles is in Wakanda. I was like, oh, this Black Panther looks kind of cool. I might have to go check out Ultimate Black Panther.
Yeah.
But it's done in the style they did those anniversary ones from DC. Because I feel like that would have been the best. Because then also even like someone would have been like, who's Camp? Dude, this Ultimate seems pretty cool. And then next they're pulling Ultimates and they're looking at Camp's library. Same with Peach. Hickman. I mean, everyone knows Hickman. It's Hickman. I mean, it's Hickman. But it's like one of those things where it's like they could have did that. And I feel like it would have took the same amount of time it took to release 5 individual issues. Yes, you're not going to get the extra money from variant covers and this and that, but treat it like an event that it's supposed to be. This trade, you need this. Endgame's coming up. The Maker, you need to get this. And because it's 5 issues, yes, you could put the $15 price tag on it or $9.99, $12.99. You don't have to go full trade price because it's because it's just a special edition issue. And then also because it comes out like that, you don't have it coming out the same month as the other comics, so you don't have to pull that. Why is Black Panther in Wakanda right now when he's not? It solves everything. And I'm not that smart, so I don't know how. Like, if I come up with this, I'm pretty sure someone at Marvel must have thought of that.
Continue.
No, I was gonna say, I'll tell you right now, that shit would have sold out. You would have gotten
100%.
first printing, second printing, third printing,
Mhm.
especially like with the talent that you have on there. But yeah, we could move on. Go ahead.
Let's wrap this up. We've got 2 more issues of Ultimate Incursion to look forward to. We'll touch on the next issue in our next month's
You're looking
episode.
forward to it.
I
Oh,
was like,
my fault. I'm
we.
just being.
Who is this we you
Yeah, who's
speak of?
we,
More than
bro?
one?
What the
Plural?
fuck?
I'm also looking forward for it to end. Whatever.